All right, I just wanted to do a quick wrap up of the games tonight. The Clippers are going to go ahead and beat the Lakers. I don't know the final score of that, but I just want to get this up before the games were on, before I head to bed. The Clippers were able to beat the Lakers tonight without Paul George. The Lakers actually played well in the first quarter, like the beginning of the first quarter, and they had some good, some bright spots, of course, but they just were outplayed in the second and fourth quarters badly. Um, the Clippers bench were able to come in and actually give them the spark. Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. I know sometimes the stats may not show it, but they were able to come in and give them a real big spark. And tonight, their stats did show up. They were dominant when they were in. Lakers had no chance at guarding that pick and roll. Kawhi was he was okay. He was good, but he missed like some open threes and he missed a couple rotations and everything. But he was pretty good as far as him being himself. He looked much healthier than he did at the end of the last season. That's for sure. A little bit more explosive as well. Another player that was really good tonight, Mo Harkless. His numbers may not show it as good as well, but defensively, I think he was really, really good on LeBron. Um, they actually went with him on LeBron instead of Kawhi Leonard, and it looked like it worked out. I'm really interested in seeing what him, Paul George, and Kawhi can do in the playoffs, like defensively on the wing. I think they could just terrorize teams with Pat Bev in the backcourt. But Clippers played well. They played well. Their big man situation is going to be very interesting, though. Zubac wasn't terrible, but they would, and Patrick Patterson wasn't terrible, but they're going to need to get upgrades on them players. At least one of them. If they could just get another big in that rotation that's a little bit better than them, then they'll be greatly improved. On to the Lakers. The Lakers wasn't terrible tonight. Like as I said, they had their spots. Anthony Davis was he was okay, but he had a couple bad turnovers that really swung momentum. He also his post up, like straight post ups, aren't that great. Like he's a good ISO player where he can face up, but as a post up player, he wasn't that efficient. He did get to the line a lot, which is going to help his numbers. Didn't really hit that outside jumper as much. I think he hit like one mid range and missed his two threes, but he missed a couple other mid range jumpers. LeBron, I don't know, he just didn't look as quick as he usually does sometimes. That was my biggest problem with him. His quickness looked off, like he wasn't able, and his explosion with players around him was off. Like he, of course, in the open court, he's still LeBron, but like in the half court, he just wasn't able to explode and finish those layups and dunks in the restricted area as he usually does. Um, Dwight Howard actually didn't play bad in this game. Um, I like his defense, and I like JaVale McGee's energy in this game as well. It's going to be interesting because I think the Lakers are going to play better with Anthony Davis at power forward just because it gives them less weak spots. Like when they try to stretch it out and put players like Dudley, too much Dudley in this game, especially down the stretch. Troy Daniels, he needs to be annexed out this rotation. Like he has no purpose. Like especially if he's not going to be hitting threes. And also the question of who is the Lakers' third best player, I think that's answered. I forgot about like you kind of forget how good Danny Green is sometimes because you just like take him for granted of the teams that he played on. He's always been like fourth or fifth best player, but he's a really good player, really good basketball player, play really good defensively, and he of course he can get hot from three. So That's gonna be key for them during the season. Avery Bradley didn't look terrible, but all this hype about him in the preseason, I'm not seeing what they see. Definitely missed Caruso and Kuzma tonight. Caruso, I think they just need that, and Rondo. They need ball handling bad and just creation bad. Lakers have a lot of play finishers, but not a lot of play like offensive initiators. Especially if you're gonna have Anthony Davis and LeBron on the court, you could use them as finishers if you got somebody else that could actually create offense for them. So I get why those players are important a little bit more. Especially Kuzma. They just needed, like, especially on the bench, they just needed somebody in that second lineup that could just get buckets and create offense, and they just didn't have it. So yeah, Clippers beat the Lakers. Really good game. It's the first game of the season though, so these teams are probably look totally different by the time February, March comes around. So don't take much of it, but just a good game, good opening night of basketball.